How's it going, everybody? So today I'm going to review a movie called Culpa Mia. Culpa Mia is a movie currently on Amazon Prime. I'm going to start off by saying that this is one of the worst movies I have ever watched. My wife enjoyed the book, so she watched the movie and then convinced me to watch it with her. This movie was a train wreck and all over the place. The main character, Noah, starts out as a completely insufferable human being. She's removed from her trailer park lifestyle to the life of luxury in a multi-million-dollar mansion owned by her mother's new husband. She's rude to everyone she meets, which is ironic because she's acting like the entitled rich kid she seems to hate. Now, you might be wondering, well, maybe she misses the old family life or something like that. The movie hints to this because she keeps a picture of her father and her, and she often reflects on it like she misses him. This couldn't be farther from the truth, so let's rip the band-aid right off. Her father tortured her and her mother, he would beat them, and eventually almost killed Noah by stabbing her in the stomach. So her stepdad must be a real douche, right? Nope. He is completely welcoming of his new daughter, treats her mom spectacularly, and just wants everyone around him to be genuinely happy, including his biological son, Nick. This is where the movie takes a weird turn. Noah is 17 and Nick is 21. Not a terrible age gap, but still a little awkward when you get the information about him and his lifestyle. At first glance, he's a pretty boy law student doing right by his dad, but once you get to know him, you find out that he's a narcissistic playboy who does illegal street racing and underground fighting. To top it all off, he's the leader of a gang, but not a gang like you would think of one. Now, this gang is closer to the T-Birds in Greece. No guns, no knives, no real crime. Seems like anybody wearing a red bandana is allowed into his gang. At their first meeting, Nick corners Noah in the kitchen and has her held by fear from his dog, which I think is a cane corso. And if you didn't know, those dogs were bred originally to support Roman soldiers in war. They're one of the toughest dog breeds in the world. She is petrified, and he uses this fear to gain some type of leverage or control over her. The family then goes out to dinner, but he has some business meeting or something where he has to review legal documents. Before he can leave early, Noah demands she be allowed to leave as well, since there's no way she's willing to sit and eat the best meal of her life at the best restaurant she has ever been to, and her evil stepfather makes her stepbrother drive her home. On the drive, Nick gets mad at Noah and literally drops her off in the middle of nowhere. As she's walking in the middle of the road to try to hitchhike, a seemingly nice guy in a nice car pulls up and offers her a ride. This might sound creepy, but thanks to plot armor, it happened to be someone who was going to the same place as her stepbrother, which, plot twist, he was really going to a gang party. The lamest gang I have ever seen. Maybe I just grew up in a rougher place, but where I come from, gangs didn't get along like this. They all marked themselves by colors just to identify themselves, but overall they get along, which was weird. Once she gets to the party, she finds out that her stepbrother is in charge as she watches him make out with several random girls. He then tells her to go home, not sure how he expects her to do so since he was supposed to be her ride, but all right. She then gets angry and starts to enjoy the party. Some dude is at the party who is known for slipping girls Mickeys. Noah takes a drink from the dude, and her stepbrother catches this. He throws the guy out of the party, even though he seemed to be the second to another gang leader. He then proceeds to yell at her for taking a drink from him, someone who is known to drug girls. But here's the thing. Lesson one, don't ever take drinks from anyone that you don't know, not just men. This is just something that everybody should know in life. She gets delirious and he takes her home, even uses her phone to tell her mom that she's hanging out with a friend and that he is the best stepbrother in the world. Her and her stepbrother begin to play this weird cat and mouse game of let's hide the tongue in each other, which again is incredibly weird. They make mention that they know what they're doing is wrong, but continue to go back and forth. He is jealous anytime anyone approaches her to the point where while she's making out with some guy, after he was just making out with some girl, he convinces her to make out with him, which is completely gross when you think of how many of these people probably have the herp. After he is done making out with her, he leaves her in his car and then goes mess around with another girl. Really, this movie seems to be about devaluing the female body, which is ironic. While he is off with some lady of the night, she gets in the driver's seat and turns the car on. Just then, the rival gang leader pulls up and tells her it's time to race. She doesn't want to, but he tells her that she's at the start line and she can't get Nick in the driver's seat. Then they proceed to race, which apparently she is a world class race car driver. She beats the rival leader, and he says they broke the rules and takes Nick's car, which made no sense because how did she break the rules if he told her she had to race? She embarrasses the gang leader in front of everybody, and now he wants revenge. She begins to get these cryptic notes like I am here or I'm coming. They assume it's coming from the rival gang leader, but in an M. Night Shyamalan type twist, it's her dad. He's working with the rival gang leader. At one point, they jump Nick and beat him. I did mention this is supposed to be a gang, right? No retaliation, just take that ass beating and go. During this time, the relationship between Nick and Noah develops, culminating in them getting caught and deciding to not to hide their almost incest relationship. They both don't care about how their actions will impact their family, so they just start being together in the open. This is where the plot takes another turn that makes no sense. Her dad has the rival gang leader kidnap her. He then ransoms her for $1 million. I don't know how banks work in Spain, but no bank in America is just handing out $1 million in cash. They don't have it on site. But don't worry, the ransom was just a ruse. Her dad just wanted to get her mom out in the open so that he could shoot her. But don't fear, stepdad uses the ransom bag like a vibranium shield and stops the bullet. Nick realizes that since the rival gang leader has his car, he is still paying for the insurance, that he can LoJack the car and find out where it is. Because if somebody takes your car, you're going to keep paying the insurance. That makes sense. Noah's dad has her at gunpoint and makes her the getaway driver while Nick is after them. They end up in one of the worst car chases I have ever seen. It all ends on a pier where they do an absurd motion with the vehicles that allows the cop to one-shot her dad. The movie ends with the mom and stepdad talking cryptically about how they need to end all of this. They may be talking about the relationship between their kids, but they aren't very specific about it. All in all, I'd give this movie a 1 out of 10. The plot was stupid. The movie tries to be hard and comes off weak. The characters are unlikable. The story was all over the place. The movie didn't seem to know what it wanted to be. Is it a love story, a thriller, Fast and the Furious clone, or all of the above? It had no true focus in most elements where they just want to keep the story moving in a nonsensical way. It was just predictable and overall boring. I do not recommend it.